What up, though, homies and breezies? It's your homeboy 𝗃𝘂𝐶, and we're back with more drama and more madness. More drama for your mama that starts all the way back from Obama, and you know how we gets it in. Anyway, fam, the tutorial that we're going to be doing today is this here, poses. It's all about poses, and I call this one heads off. And this is one of the ones where you ever look at a mixtape and you wondering how in the world you think you saw roughly all of the celebrities' poses, and you wonder to yourself, how did they get you know, for example, Young Jeezy to pose in front of a Mustang, or how they get Young Thug in an Armani suit? Young Thug don't wear Armani suits. He wears this, that, and the other, but definitely not an Armani or a Gucci two-piece with a vest. He don't wear that. So what we're going to do today is explore and examine how we can apply that style and technique to our own flavor. Now this is the mock-up, but the original is this. Aha. So we chopped off Nelly head and we put his head on there. Now this look a little rough. You know, I was kind of rushing through it when I did it, but don't worry about it. We're going to go step by literal step. All right. So let's go ahead and delete this and start fresh. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, family lamb, is oh, and before we actually start here, listen. The new sessions that I'm selling over at todaysbeats.com will include all of my brushes. They will include all of my fonts, and they will also include all of my shapes and anything that I use, including all of my my files, my PSD files. And this is just my collection. Now, of course, you can run and, you know, you can collect your own, but this will give you at least all the sources that you need to get you started immediately. And it will also allow you to follow along with the tutorials step by literal step. All right. And that's what I encourage you to do. And I encourage you to do it multiple times. It'll be a good thing to watch my micro sessions over at my Red Media Art YouTube channel, and just practice it. Do it over and over again until you get it like the back of your hand. Do it several times so you can commit it to memory, so that you can go out with confidence promoting the sales of your mixtape cover designs. All right. So anyway, I just wanted to run that by you real quick. Oh, and I got multiple poses and different things like that. And after you learn this, after you watch this tutorial, you'll learn how to take those different poses and superimpose different heads on that situation, like what we're about to do right now. So the first thing we're going to do, family lamb, is chop off homeboy's head. Bam, 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 da, da, and swing around that. Hold Control X and Control V, paste his head there. All right, so now this to me is kind of a good choice. We're going to do a few things. We're going to manipulate a few things, and there's a few principles that we're going to apply. Now, one principle is to try to find a head that closely matches the body as much as possible. Now, there's some things that's going on right here that I feel the need to explain. We're looking at proportion, we're looking at angles, we're looking at lighting and things like that. So what you want to keep in mind is his neck, his chin, and his head, they're going backwards. And his head is leaning slightly forward. So we keep that in mind. We may have to change some perspective on him so that his head can fit on his body, appropriately. And it won't look, like a, dead giveaway. So the first thing we're going to do is really carve him out and just get his head. So we can take some shortcuts, and I can kind of just hit that right there and just hit delete. That's just a shortcut. Hit that shortcut, and then we can go in here and draw the rest in. I like to always use this tool. So let's go in here, and we'll make some curves and some adjustments. We'll use this tool here, and we're going ahead and cut off his neck because we may just use Nelly's neck. Now, the benefits of this, fam, is that you never have to you don't have to spend a whole lot of time looking for different poses. See, we don't get our poses from the artist itself. We get our poses from a number of different sources, because the fact of the matter is, what if we wanted him to be in a bank? Or what if we wanted him to act as a president? Or what if we wanted to put him on a basketball court? You would never, it'll be hard to find those type of images, right? It'd be hard to find him in a suit. It'd be hard to find him in the color of a suit that we want, the style of a suit. You know what I mean? So this, I don't know. Why in the heck am I going all the way around here? That's already dealt with. All right, sorry about that, y'all. All right, and then we right click and we make a selection. And we just invert it. Let's inverse and then hit delete. And now we got a clean head. Now let's deselect it and let's start, placing them. All right. So there's a few different ways you can do it. One way, and there's multiple ways. There's not one way fits all. There's multiple ways. Now this look actually cool for like a cartoon effect, or a big comedy effect, but we're not doing that. Oh, by the way, I'm definitely doing a tutorial. I can't wait to show y'all this tutorial where we can actually do a video and have the big heads on it. But anyway, that's for another day. A few ways we can do it is, first, adjust the opacity so we can see through his face, and we look at the eyes and we adjust the eyes or the size of the nose. As you see, here's his nose right here. There's the two holes there, and you can align it and try to get close to that. You can shrink it and adjust it until this nose size is proportional with that. But again, how his head is leaning forward and how his head is leaning backwards, this probably wouldn't be the best approach for that. All right. So another approach is to bring the opacity all the way up and just look, like pull it back and start adjusting according to your eyes, your own eyes, until we see a good fit. Now we can almost clearly see that it's just big. It's just bigger than it should be. So we shrink it a little more. And we keep checking back and forth. I'm sitting back. That's why I'm not close to the mic. Because what I'm doing is I'm sitting back, checking out the proportion. All right. It looked like we almost got the head. Let's look at the nose size here. We see his nose is a little bigger. Okay, so it's ironic that his lips is big and this is small, but again, it's the angle. But look like we can still shrink it a little bit more. So let's shrink it more. Okay. Now, this might be cool. All right, so there's a lot more things we got to do. This is not the end of it all. There's a couple more things we got to do. Actually, it's starting to look too small now. So, what we're going to do, let's lean it back, see if that's fitting a little better. And let's don't worry about the color and the level and things like that. We're going to address that later. And let's rock it this way. And we ain't gonna worry about Nelly ears and things like that. We're gonna figure, that's gonna be figured out. Okay. So just continue to make slight adjustments until some of them is going to be easier. I've done some that was just way easy. It just fit perfectly, and some of them may be a little difficult. That's the reason why you want to pick the closest images possible. like for example, if the camera, if he wasn't leaning his head forward. See, what's giving this issue here is he leaned his head forward, and his is kind of, you know, leaning back slightly. You can see a little bottom of his chin, where this one you don't. But we're going to still fix all that. We're still going to make it all work. We're still going to make the magic work. So just for now, we're going to bring it up a little bit more. And let's start working with, okay, that might be okay. I think this might be okay. We'll tilt it just a little bit here. And I think that might be okay. And the reason why this might be okay is because the other things that I'm going to be doing with it. All right. So by that being okay, now let's do this. We got Nelly's earring. We're going to keep his neck, but we got this ear over here as well. So what we're going to do is select here. Let's make a duplicate copy of this background. And let's go in here and cut out his ear. So let's zoom in here, and since the head is locked solid here, we can go ahead and take measures on moving Nelly's ear out the way. And how we're going to do that is we're going to create another layer, and let's go to our tool selection, color selection, and pick the background, hit OK, and we'll paint the inside of that background gray. And we're going to do the same thing with over here. Now actually I was thinking, because not only I could have did it gray, but I also could have did some other things. Okay, let's do this. You see this layer here? Ignore this layer. This is a save layer. This is just in case we screw some stuff up. But let's pick this layer where Nelly is, and let's put a layer up under it. We're going to put a layer under it, and we're going to paint the entire layer this white color. So let's take our color picker, hit the white, hit OK, and now let's make an entire layer. So let's deselect this. Now we're going to hit the entire layer with all white. That way, what happens is when we start erasing, that's all we're going to see is the background color. So we're going to go in here, and now we're going to start erasing his ear. See what happens? Now this is his earring as well as Young Jeezy earring blended in the background. But this could be, we can act like this is kind of, here, let me shrink this down because I'm going to get more finer detail in there. Okay, that's good. And now for the sake of this tutorial, what I'm going to do is select a piece of this leather. And it's all about manipulation, fam. It's all about manipulating the situation. And you don't have to feel like, you know what I'm saying, you can't do it. It's like producing music. You just kind of, I'm going to hold Control C, Control V. I just copied a piece of leather, and we're going to move this leather and kind of just create some new situations here. Okay, that may be good. Maybe we can stretch it a little. And now let's go in here and erase and kind of fine tune some things. So this is a little advanced, fam. It's you know what I'm saying. It's a little advanced technique, but I'll talk about all this in my new tutorials. If you haven't got the old ones, definitely get the old ones, but this is the new stuff. Now we're going to, something else I like to do here. Here, let's remove that. Okay, so we're going to blend this so we won't see the double lines, although it don't matter. Some people is kind of fussy about stuff like that. So we're going to blow this up, and we're just going to kind of just blend it in a little. See that? So we just almost kind of made just a one-piece leather. So you see, so we added that. That way we cover up and we hide some things that's going on in the neck area. So I'm gonna hold Control E and merge that into the background. So now that's the whole background. All right, and it looked like we still got a little bit of Nelly head back there, but I think I might keep that. Let me go up here and erase this little thing. Is disturbing me. All right, I think we may keep that. Let me see what's all involved here. Okay, So we see up here. So let's do this with his head. Let's go up here and kind of fade the edges so that Nellie's head back there can kind of blend with it. All right, we ain't gonna worry about a few other things. We're gonna leave that as is. Now let's go in here. We're gonna stretch this car because we don't want this little cut out there. So let's go in here and let's select a part of this car, like so. And let's hold Control-C, copy, Control-V, paste. And now what we can do is take this car and now stretch it. Oh, sorry about that, huh? Why is that happening? Let's see. There we go. So we done stretched this car from that to that. So now we kind of removed that, and now his head really looked like it's possible that it's there. Now there's a few other things that we need to do. So don't panic yet. Don't panic yet, homeboy. The train in the background making me seems goofy. You know what I mean? Who does tutorials with trains in the background, family lamb? So let's go ahead and grab this. That's the skin. And we're going to do something with that. So I'm going to hold Control-C, Control-V, right? So now we're working with just the neck, right? So let's put a shadow on the neck. The color of his head don't match the color of his neck, right? So let's go ahead, go to image, and then we can adjust some first exposure. And I like to kind of toy around with a few different things. We'll adjust the gamma, we'll adjust the exposure, and the offset. We'll pull it down. And then let's go up in here, and then we will adjust the saturation, because you see it turned a little yellowish red. So we want the saturation to almost kind of be close to. And we can adjust some other things. Oh, and then something else we can do here. Check this out. We're going to select another layer, and I'm gonna call this shadow. Shadow. And let's kind of just throw a little. Yeah, let's get like a dark brown. And then we can throw and some of this stuff seems unnecessary. If you can get away with it, that's cool. But me personally, I want to put a little shadow. Sorry, that was too much. I don't feel like dealing with that, cutting that out, trimming it. So let's just try to stick with that area. Let's make it a little darker. Matter of fact, black. All right, so we're not paying too much attention to the neck there. Now, the other thing I want to do is do something about them hands. The hands got to match the color tone of of his skin. So let's go ahead and take out this hand and do what we need to do. Matter of fact, I'm going to just to save some time, I'm gonna kind of go around it big. Okay, and then let's copy, paste, and let's zoom it out so we can see his hands as well as his head. And now we want to try to blend those colors together. So let's go, let's address, we'll start off with, let's say, curves. And let's pull some shadows in there, darken it up. And that'll let us know how far we need to go. So we're going to pull it down a little. So you see his hand is getting a little darker. But you notice when I do that, and there's something else I'm noticing, but we'll talk about that later. I'm noticing that it's getting saturated. So we're going to go in here and push and pull colors until we got something consistent, some type of matching that's going on with his head. So that's the magic of levels, fam. So we keep in mind that let's see what's happening with this green. Okay. So it looked like we may have a slight, very ever so slight green tint. Let's pull this down. Let's pull the shadow. Maybe boost up the blue a little. All right, that's okay. I still want it a little darker here. So let's first try saturation to see if We can desaturate the color a little. Okay, and then we might want to darken this up a little bit more. So I'm gonna use exposure again. Okay, I think that might be okay. So there's the before, there's the after, before, after, and I think it's a little more closer. Now we ain't gonna get too crazy because there's some other things that we need to do, so don't panic yet. Again, I tell you, don't panic yet. We got more things to do. So let's go ahead and fade this. Get our erase tool. You know, you're not gonna pay too much attention to that, the way it's two colors. All right, so that's maybe cool. Okay, so now we got a little something happening here, don't we? So now let's make a duplicate, because his head is still, I still got issues with his head. Let's take this first, his head, and then let's adjust some levels here. Let's see if we can maybe we can brighten it up. Okay, and I'm believing, you know what, fam? I'm believing that his hat is a problem, right? Now you don't have to get, you personally don't have to get this crazy detailed as I'm about to get, but you know, my problem is I try to be a perfectionist. All right, so let's cut that and let's repaste it, and now we can work with the size here. Just a little bit. I ain't gonna worry about Nelly head behind his. That's kind of cool. And then I think what I want to do, because of the angle, I think I want to round this off a little bit more. So we're going to kind of just round that off here, because right now that angle is that proportion is right for make the selection here. That proportion is right for the original picture, but it may not be right for this here. So this looking a little bit more balanced. Let's bring it out a little bit. Okay, cool. All right, we got a little something. All right, that's cool. So now let's do this. Let's preserve this here, and go over here and create a duplicate. Let's make a duplicate just to have everything for backup, because I'm gonna flatten this. So I'm gonna flatten the duplicate. Bam. And now we're going to go over to, now that I got everything in perspective here, let me kind of make the entire image contrasty. Let me bring some highlights and some shadows. All right, make it sparkle a little. And then let's go to Topaz Labs, and this is where we're gonna do this technique to kind of blend everything in. You feel me? We're gonna make it all work. So let's go to our cartoon detail. All right, so now we done kind of blended the drama in. You see what I'm saying? So maybe his head is a little, I think it's okay. I think it's okay at first glance, you know, and you keep in mind, like, we're going to look at it a certain type of way because we're the artists, but, you know, people, they're not going to look at it. I think this is pretty darn good. So I want to zoom in there because there's some other things that we're going to cook up. But that really blended. Let's turn the strength up. Let's see the radius. We'll tweak it around until we get something that we like here. Now what this clean does, fam, is it kind of take everything and almost kind of compress it. It's kind of like if you're a recording artist or you're a producer, it almost kind of does like what a compressor does. For example, a compressor controls peaks and volumes, levels, peaks, and so you give it a threshold, and it controls the highs. So for example, if you got some really high piercing sounds that's just going up and down wave files and things like that, it controls the peaks, it limits the peaks, and it also raises what's too low to give it a balance. And that's what we're doing here. We're just adjusting the peaks and levels to make it all cohesive all together, right? So that's what we did. We just made everything cohesive all together. And let's shrink it. And now we got a little something. Now there may be some things that we can do to his hand. To his face. Look like his face may need to either be added some red so that it can match the hand, or vice versa. Maybe we can desaturate the hand a little to match the brownness of the face. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm gonna just keep it like this. We're gonna hit OK and let that do its processing. And then we'll zoom in here, and then we'll kind of just clean a few things up. So we go to our smooth blur tool and just go in there and kind of blend. This is kind of harsh. Let's turn this down, turn the strength down, and just kind of knock out those little wrinkles. Turn it up a little more so I won't be here forever. I would probably spend more time on this particular situation if I wasn't actually doing a tutorial. But since I'm doing a tutorial, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it a little short because these are supposed to be micro sessions. But you know, I decided to not do super duper micro sessions because I really do want you to really learn something. Everybody can't afford, you know, the training over today's beats, even though it's crumbs. Always educate yourself, fam. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really do. Educate yourself. We're going to talk about that. When I start my VIP membership, it's going to be a mentorship as well. It's not just going to, we're not just going to be learning tutorials, man. I'm going to teach y'all how to get rich. I'm going to teach y'all how to get some money, for real. And there's some fundamental things that millionaires know. Millionaires understand these type of things. And one of the things, while I'm doing this, I could tell y'all, one of the things that millionaires do know is that they know certain fundamentals. For example, fundamentals. Shut up, idiot. You sound like an idiot. What's a fundamental? They know different fundamentals. For example, I'll give you one example. They understand that you have to omit old bad habits and create new habits. And one of the new habits is learning. That's a habit. They understand that if you learn, you can only go so far. You have to educate yourself. You have to. There's no way around it. The more you know, the more you can make. All right, I think we did a good blend here. And I can go in here and like have fun with all the other stuff. But you know, that's it. We actually, you know, we could have probably did it a little, you know, we didn't have to take this long here. Let me do something real quick. Let me go in here, and I'm not going to worry a whole lot about the surroundings, but I got an issue. I want this to have a little bit more reddish to almost match his hand a little bit more. So we'll select that, hold Control Copy, Control V, and then let's go over here to curves. And let's kind of start doing some things with this red. I'll push the red a little bit. See what happens here? See how the tone is starting to match his hands a little bit more? You see that? Let's see what happens when we tweak the shadows, tweak the highs here. And maybe we can go to the blue and maybe pull the blue down a little. If you pull the blue, it give it a yellowish tone, but that don't have a lot of yellow in it. It kind of look like his. So that's about it. What else can I do? I want to add saturation, but this is a adjustment layer. So we boost up the saturation a little. Bam! Look at that. That's hot and sexy. Wait a minute. That did not sound right, but that is cooking though. That's cooking, boy. Them colors is popping. But anyway, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to really I wanted to emphasize a lot of the blue in the jeans. But this is cool. Got a mixtape, little mixtape vibe. But that's just one little aspect, fam. And I wanted to show y'all this. I wanted to come out here and give y'all some more. And we're going to do a couple more. But I want to show you something. I want to explain something to you real quick while we're on this. Let me pause this. I got to pull up my files. Here's my PSD reference material. And as you see, we have got a lot of things in here. These ain't the brushes. This is just one brush. I got like 50 brushes. No, more than that. I got a lot of brushes I'm giving to y'all. But these are different elements and poses that you could take up. Like Gucci man, he's a clone now. No, he's not a clone. I don't know. I know everybody got me talking about he's a clone. But we got a lot of different poses and things like that. And what we like to do is, here, let me show you something real. I got this folder called poses, and it's just strictly all poses. And I didn't necessarily get these poses for the purpose of mixtape covers. To use the artist alone. I got all of these strictly for poses. For example, you may want her body on Beyonce or something. Maybe you got a chick in the hood, and she ain't got that much curvature. You might want to put her, superimpose her face in there. Now she got all this curvature popping off, right? And for example, here's another good example. You may be doing a strictly hip hop style CD cover, and you just don't have that look, the angles, the ropes, the jerseys, the throwbacks. You might not get that look or vibe, and so you take this as and you treat it as a pose, and they could be in the background, and you can have a car in the front, and your hip hop, you change his head to Plies head or Young Jeezy or Rick Ross. I don't know if we could put Rick Ross head on his body, but it's possible, and it's all part of the game. And different other poses is not necessarily, like, for example, this is cool for 50 Cent, right? But maybe I want French Montana and this jacket, you see? So I don't just get the poses for the artist and to use just strictly this. I hand select a few different things so that I can put different people inside of different outfits. Another one that's another example. Here's was the example here. For example, this is a good one I liked. I picked that one. I like it for him. But also we could take his head off, put the devil eyes in somebody else. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like that. So, and also for like models, just a few model poses, like, this is cool maybe for the homie, maybe he's in the background of the image, and maybe Rick Ross or something threw on the Kanai jacket or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's the point, fam. So I just collected a whole lot of different poses. Like, these are different poses that you wouldn't be able to get. I can't get this, so we could put this body, put another head on this body, and you got you a unique mixtape cover. All right, you got Beyonce here, and like when you see things like these words and things like that, I don't know if I already done a tutorial covering showing how to remove these, but if I haven't, we gonna do one for sure. You call me Grand Tizzle, hold you down. And you know, that's it, fam. So I wanted to show y'all that, show y'all how we this is a good one too. This hand has been used many a night for many a tutorial. Even this hand, you know, these are good things, good poses. You know what I mean? And even if we don't use the pose, you use the hand. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot in store for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole lot in store for y'all. Y'all gonna really definitely enjoy these future tutorials. Go ahead then, Chloe. Do what you do and do it well. All right, fam. I'm starting to lose my I'm starting to lose it here. Guess I haven't had a drink in a while. I gotta go give me something to drink, man. I think I might drop another tutorial for y'all today. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do some more teaching. Teaching is fun, man. You know, all these nice little cute little Barbie images and all that. Got the Mercedes Benz. Somebody might can have muscles. Rick Ross, you know, Rick Ross bleached himself and had a 6-pack popping. All right, fam. So that's it. All of these things, all of this research, you know, the poses and all of these, everything that you see, you're going to get in the new release of volume 2 for the Photoshop tutorials. All right, fam. All right, so I hope you benefited from this. I hope you enjoyed this session, and now you know how to do the heads on tutorial. All right, so to the next time, I guess, I don't know, do I got any shameless promotion? I don't know. Go over to todaysbeats.com. I got some goodies over there for y'all, man. Go on and learn the game and quit playing around. Get this bread, man. Be that entrepreneur. You feel me? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about being an entrepreneur. Everything else is for the birds. It's your homie Grand Tizzle. Till the next time. I'll see you in a minute. See you when I spin it. Peel's niece, big boy.
Anything is possible. If you can think it, you can do it. The only limitation, the only obstacle is your brain. If you believe it, you can achieve it. If you don't, you won't. It's just that simple. We at Red Media Art understands this, but we encourage you to do more than just learn. We at Red Media Art want to push you, inspire you, invoke you to shoot beyond what you believe is possible. We understand the true secrets of success, the way the mind works in learning environments, how the brain releases dopamine each time you learn something new, and how you can change your life simply by changing your mind and sticking to it. We not only train you in developing a skill, but we also train you in developing a mindset, helping you to become far beyond your own abilities